Hey everyone, Jay here at Lived and Learned DIY. So today I've got a really special project going on, and I just want to show you what I'm getting into today. But first, so right now I'm going to show you on my phone. This is the best way I can do it right now, but I'm going to show you the project I want to work on for today. I'm wanting to build a traditional style offset smoker, a cold smoker if you will. It's going to be 4 feet by 4 feet, and it's going to have a, as you can see in the picture, I'm going to build it pretty much like that one. It's going to have a block foundation, so the wooden part's going to look a little weird while I'm building it because it's only going to be 5 feet high, but there's going to be at least 2 feet to 2.5 feet of blocks, courses of blocks on the bottom to hold it up off the ground. So that's what I'm going to be working on today, so I'll record this and let you guys see the progress I'm making. I've got all my lumber here in the floor, I've got my saw set up, and I've got a table set up. This table is 4 feet by almost 5 feet, I think. But anyway, that's going to provide me a good foundation where I can set everything on there and work off this level surface. What I'm planning on doing today is actually just building the walls and probably the roof rafters, getting it all blocked in and squared up, and then I'll probably work on it some more tomorrow, but just want to give you a quick rundown of what's going on. So I don't know how many of you guys do this when you get working on a project, but I always keep around one of these notebooks and a calculator, and of course, pencil, so I can do my figures on all this stuff. I throw it away after I'm done with it, but I think it's just really cool that you just have all that stuff. And also, there's an app. I've got an iPhone, and there's an app on the iPhone. It's called Fractional Calculator, and it is really super cool. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. I just use it a lot because when you're doing fractional measurements, sometimes it's not the quickest thing in your head, and a lot of people honestly don't know the conversion from decimal place to fractions or how to do that. It's pretty simple, but anyway, I use that quite a bit, so I'm going to be doing some calculations here after I cut my wood down and see exactly what size I need to cut this dimensional lumber. So let's get started on that. Okay, so I'm getting ready to cut down this this dimensional lumber here, and I've got this old DeWalt chop saw I bought brand new at Lowe's over 20 years ago. I know the only thing I've ever done is put one set of brushes in it. That thing's been bulletproof. It's probably going to break down now that I've said that, but I'm going to show you guys anyway. So we got that thing going. I'm going to cut this first board down, so here we go. So that is all I've got to cut for the ledger plates or the base plates for the walls. The reason those are 2x8s is so that I can cover most of the block and then seal around the block so that we don't have little critters getting into the meat and the things, because this is going to not only be a smokehouse, but it's going to be a place that we hang our meats and stuff when it's curing, like country ham. So those will be in there over the summer, and then we'll smoke them during the process. But anyway, we're gonna get started on cutting down the 2x4s for the walls. So some of you may be watching this video and going, Jay, why are you building your smokehouse in your workshop? Well, it's 17 degrees outside for one, and two, Little John has the lift capacity to lift this whole thing up. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to build this in the shop. We're going to, at my house, we're going to pour the concrete foundation and lay the concrete blocks. Then we're going to take this, load it on a trailer with Little John, and then set it up there and then strap it down. So that's why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. So as you can see, I've got my base plates and some of my wall studs cut out. I'm getting ready to scale them out here on the table. Okay, so I got started and I forgot to record this. So anyway, what I got right here is I've got a Craig jig. It's a pocket hole jig with the drill bit there. I got that set up, and what I've done is I drilled me 4 pocket holes across the top of here, and now I put glue on the end. I'm gonna put glue on the other end, see the pocket holes there, and I'm gonna put it all together. Is that necessary? Probably not. Honestly, it's probably not. But I like to take every precaution I can to keep it as strong as possible. So we're gonna glue and screw this thing. And also I'm gonna use screws around the side. Most people be like, my gosh, why would you use screws instead of nails? They're more expensive, they're whatever. They are, but they're stronger, and I like using them. So with these screws nowadays, man, they hold forever. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. Oops. I'll just be honest with you folks, it's been a little while since I've been making videos. I apologize about that, but I forget to record things. So we got our first corner piece put together and mounted to the ledger or baseboards there, and then I'm getting ready to put all these together 3 more times, sorry. Then I'll have a door opening somewhere right in here, and then of course the other 3 sides will be solid. So there we go, making progress. I got everything cut and put up on the side wall pieces. You can see now we got to connect up here at the top, all that together, and then put in the door opening right here. So we'll get started on that next. So, I didn't record everything that I did on this, but I recorded some of the stuff. You guys don't want to see me stand here and screwing stuff together and gluing and all that stuff. So here it is. I've got the framework done now for my smokehouse. So I put that horizontal brace in all the way around the 3 sides that are going to get the boxing on them. And now I'm going to be working on my rafters that go, you know, up here. And I'm not sure, I'm kind of playing around on my CAD program to see exactly what angle roof I want to put on here. I don't want a 45-degree angle. I think it's just going to be too much. So I think I'm going to go like a 20 or 30-degree angle. So I'm going to play around on the computer and check that out. But I had a little lapse in time between when I was working on that and now. This is later in the afternoon, and I went and got 2 IBC totes of wood and brought into the shop because I ran out. I was pushing it and I knew I was, but anyway, I went and got them at home. A little bit of an adventure with as much snow as we got on the ground, but anyway, I got them out. They're here in the shop now. They're going to be drying out. One has a cover on it, one doesn't, but that'll be ready to use next week. So I've got these 2 boards cut down to where they'll fit right here, right along this side and along that side. And what I plan to do with that is I'm going to cut some half circles in those. That way I can take some metal pipe or a metal rod and put across through there, and then I can use my hooks and hang meat and things on it inside there where it smokes real good, gets a full coating or coverage of the smoke. So I'm gonna work on that here in a few minutes. I'm also gonna keep working on my rafter design, and you can see exactly what I want to do with that. So just keep on going. So I'm back at the Smokehouse project for today. It's a different day, and I've got some stuff going on now, and you guys are going to laugh at me, and that's okay. I'm doing something right now that is absolutely not needed, but I just wanted to do it because I got the tools and I got the wood. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting down several pieces of the white oak, rough cut white oak lumber right there. You see I've got a pile here that I've got now in my barn. And what I'm doing is running them through this planer. Is that necessary? Absolutely not. I'm making a lot of sawdust there. But what I want to do, and I don't care that the wood grain shows like that, but one of the reasons why I'm doing that is just to get it to lay down really nice. I want this thing to be really tight. So I want to do that. I'm actually, like I said, I'm going to try to find someone to run them through the edger to get the edges of the boards really perfect, and that way I can put board and batten down and keep all the bugs and things out. So anyway, we're going to run that through there and show you guys what that looks like here for a minute, and we'll go from there. So I'm back on the Smokehouse project for today. So I went ahead and did a few things off camera because it's just kind of boring stuff. But anyway, I made my rafters here. They're a 30-degree angle on the cut. And then I made the bird's mouth part to slide down over the wall joist here, the top of the wall plate on both sides, like so. That's pretty tight. Anyway, I'm gonna put a little glue on those joints. I know it's overkill, but I'm gonna put a little glue on those joints. I'm gonna put those on, and I'm gonna put a fly rafter out here to where we'll have coverage for the door so we don't get weather inside of the smokehouse. So let's go ahead and get started on that. Okay, so I've got the rafters all screwed and glued on, and now I'm going to be putting in my braces up there to keep the rafters from moving, and then I'll have a fly rafter out here, like I said, for an overhang, keep water from getting in the door there. So you can see it's taking shape now. There you go. So what I did here before I finished screwing this together is I put a level across the entire length of the rafters. You can see I got clamped tight here, touching there, and touching there. So now I can put the screws in this end, hold everything together. So everything will be nice and straight that way. Okay, so let me show you a little issue here. You see this? That means that I've got it screwed too low. This needs to go, sorry, that needs to go up. So I'm gonna take that screw out right there, lift this up and clamp it, screw it right there, and then screw it in the middle, last thing. So everything looks pretty good on the roof section. The other end out here, right there, drop down maybe a quarter. You see it's got a little give to it. Once I put my roof sheeting on, I don't think it's going to be a problem at all. Anyway, it's just an overhang, but I do want to pull that back up a little bit, so I'll probably just put my sheet of plywood on here, and then once I get it screwed in this end, I'll give it a little pull that way, going that direction, and that'll pull that right out of it. So everything's looking good. I'm happy with the progress I'm making on this. It won't be much longer. This thing will be ready to use. So right now I'm going to take this board and drill holes in it and make slots for like a hanging rods or whatever inside the smokehouse. Well, we had a little boo-boo here. As you can see, that cracked out, but that's why we have wood glue. So we're going to take care of that now. I'm going to take a square and mark my hole slot positions. That way I got a guideline to go by. See, now we have a slot to put those spreader bars, or whatever you want to call them, pipe into. So what we've got here is an outdoor grade plywood that already has the grooves milled in it. And I'm not really sure what it's called. I don't remember what they called at my local lumber supplier, but anyway, I've already cut it down to length to fit on the sides of the house, and then I'm going to cut out my grooves right here for my rafters to sit in so we can get it as tight as possible. So we'll get that, and then we're going to put the back piece on. It's still a full sheet, and then I'm going to take a router and actually plane it off even with the roof line. So we're going to do that, and let's get started on that. Okay, so I got my notches cut out now, so I'm going to see if this fits in here. Let's hope I got all my measurements correct. So all my measurements were correct. However, it's just a little tight back here, which is not a big deal. I'd rather it be that way than just, you know, the other way. So there we go. Now, okay, so I've secured this side for now. I'm going to put more screws in there, but I'm going to switch over to the other side, and I'm going to put that piece on the other side, and then we'll put the back in, and you'll see kind of what it's looking like then. It'll start shaping up really quickly at that point. So, well, here's the moment of truth. That's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Everything's up tight in there, so let's put some screws in it. Okay, so for now we got that screwed up on there. I may put another one in the bottom just to hold it in place, but I'm going to cut it with a saw roughly, and then I'm going to take my edge bit and my router and actually go over it and make it smooth with the roof. And in case you're wondering if this is sticking out, yes it is. I'm going to bring the roof out past it probably 3 or 4 inches, so you won't have to worry about water penetration or anything like that. So my lines marked here above the roof angle. And so I'm gonna cut it off with my my circular saw. So what I've got is my edge bit here with the bearing on it. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to trim it even with the roof angle. Alrighty, we got it right here. We're going to use this thing. Matter of fact, I'm going to go get my safety glasses first because this thing throws a lot of dirt and dust. So I got a fresh battery in my router. Let's try this. Look at this. Nice and smooth. It's routed right to the edge of the roofing panel. So there it is. Well, as you can see, it's finally starting to take shape here. You can see that.